Hey, I'm Grant and welcome to the state of the channel for January 8th. So not much to really report here, just basically this week is just kind of staying the course. I am currently working on putting out all of Resident Evil that started up, and that should be going pretty well. I think I'm up through episode 14 in terms of it being exported, and there's just a small couple things still gotta figure out and just do, but that's gonna be the main thing I'm working on this week is just, I have all the footage, and it's all pretty much edited. I'm just going through and exporting it, honestly. I'm trying this new idea where I had these batch recordings and then I sync them up to my actual video feed of me, and then I essentially just edit like a 2-hour long chunk, and then I just go through it and it's like, okay, 20 minutes, try to find a good starting point in that little window, boom, export. Here's another 20-minute window, export, export. So all the work is pretty much done. I just have to go through and get all that out and stay ahead, as well as once I get that done, I'd like to start the next series, whatever that is. Resident Evil 7 would be a very easy in, I think, so maybe I'll look at that. But there's a potential that I wouldn't mind also trying some stuff off of like a Game Jolt or Steam or just some other random small little horror games to fill in the gaps. I think I'll probably wait till next month. I know I have Silent Hill 3 I could do, but I don't know how long they are, but I would love to do some like one-off videos in the future to fill in those gaps. So say if Resident Evil takes 23 episodes out of 30 days in the month or something, then those last 7 days would just be other content that I try to fill in, like little videos. So that's good. Podcast still going great. I'm actually 2 ahead now, I think. I just gotta get those edited for this Friday. And the other thing I'm working on is I'm definitely trying to invest more resources in starting that other software project I really want to get going, that I think I've decided on the technology for, and then also just developing the website. I sat down this weekend and I made a mock-up prototype of how I want the website to kind of look. So now I'm trying to learn enough CSS to go from what I have to the base to what I want. And that's going to be a whole thing. And part of that is just upgrading, like not even getting started on that, but just getting started on the things I need to start that, if that makes sense. Like right now, a huge issue I have is I can only edit the site live. So if I do something that breaks it, it breaks the site. So I'm trying to set up an actual, a good development environment so that I can actually edit it locally. It's faster, it's easier, and I only have to push my changes when I know they work. 2, I'm trying to actually just improve everything in general with that. I found out a better way to back up the site, a better way to push my backups and restore from them, and just generally work with it a little bit better. I'm trying to bring everything up to speed so editing it is not a huge deal. The site actually went down for a week. Well, the site didn't go down, but I broke my login script, so anyone who logged in couldn't do anything, so I couldn't update the site. So I got everything up to speed now on that, and I'm just going to start going through, and as I'm doing the CSS project, bringing up the bar, bringing up the standard across the site, because there's a ton of small little things on the site that I like to fix once I know how. Like, all I need to do is okay, between the icons, like the thumbnails in the lists and videos, it'd be really cool if I could just put a 5-pixel padding, because right now they go edge to edge, and it's super tiny, it doesn't really matter, and in some cases I kind of like that they're edge to edge, because my thumbnail works for that, but I just sit down and do that. Or I know for every video what I'd like to do is, instead of these big long descriptions, like right now on the site, every video shows its description, but the description also includes stuff like, here's my Twitter link. Well, when you see all the videos side by side, that looks just super garbage. So I'm thinking oh, maybe I can go in and on all the previous videos do a teaser text versus the actual full description. So it's a little bit more, if you're looking through the videos, you can see what you kind of want, and then how can I tie into YouTube? And eventually, with that other software project, I'd like to automate a whole bunch of this stuff, but that's a long time down the lines, and it's just finding all the week. Again, I still want to take some PTO off of work just to sit and work on these personal projects, particularly the coding stuff, because that's something that's I need to really do well. It's a lot of just reading documentation, trying stuff, and focusing. And that's best done if I have a Monday off and I can work 8 to 5 on just this. And that's something that's hard to do when you have an actual job. So I would love to get that down, sit down, just get that all going and just work on it. So that's what I'm really excited for, as well as just keeping everything else coming out and streamlined and working. I still have some other stuff I want to do with a Destiny Tippet series. That's just something I do in my spare time. Those don't take very long. Same with the OSR stuff. Right now the OSR stuff is very much I always forget every Friday to put that out. Although I think I'll be moving it to Saturday, so it doesn't clash as much with the digression bar coming out. But I'd like to get just everything in a really good state where it's very maintainable and easy to keep going, and that's what I think I'm going to be focused on for this week. I'm gonna be super busy at work though, so I'd like to by the end of January to have all this figured out, I think, and maybe take some PTO just to get everything in a good state. Like I also have this other issue I have to deal with where I'm running out of hard drive storage. And part of the reason for that is because I have so many things in flight. Because one of the things I do in my workflow is every time I have a video, I have to bring it in and I convert them all to this certain like audio codec and file format. And that's great because in doing this, it makes it very consistent in my editor and it makes it so something happens with that. I have the backup, the original, and it's also just, it's a good workflow step. Downside being, it makes really big files and it's already a copy. So a 10 gigabyte file copies itself and then might double in size. So here's 20 gigabytes. So if I have a lot of stuff in flight, particularly Resident Evil, which is 16 hours, I think, and then the podcasts, they will easily take up like a full terabyte easily. And they don't need to, but until I finish the project in that in-flight state, they're just sitting there doing nothing. And I'm trying to figure out a overall plan. Like I think I'm gonna probably eventually just get like a big drive specifically for storage so that, okay, I'm done with this project, pack it, put it away, but save it. Because there are times I've had to go back and I'm like, man, thank God I left, say, this project all put together. Let me re-export that video because there was a glitch in it or something. Like that came up in Resident Evil even where I batch exported like 5 and I didn't realize that like number 3 or something had a ton of like black space in it because I hadn't set everything up right. So it's like, oh man, thank God I can still regenerate that file, plug it back in the editor, it still remembers everything, re-export that properly. So I don't want to just go ahead and delete everything because it's nice to have that stuff. Or even just like looking back, it's kind of cool. So that's my plans for this week. It's kind of going to be all over the place just because I'm so busy, but I'm trying to make it so it takes less and less time on me so I can have more and more time doing the things that really matter. Anyway, you can contact me over on Twitter. It's at take4grantd or on my email. It's grant@take4grantd.com, and I'll see you guys again next week.